Hello to the parents of Year 4 Rowan. I would like to firstly introduce myself as Mr. Arnold and apologise that we cannot be having this presentation in person, but unfortunately that's the situation we currently find ourselves in. I will try not to talk at you for too long, and I won't read the PowerPoint slides word for word because that'll get rather boring. What I will do is just encourage you to pause the video at any point where you want to look at the information a little bit more extensively, as opposed to having me just summarize it for you. So to begin with, who's in Year 4? It's myself and Mr. Needs, Mr. Wanford, Mr. Meechan and Miss Shembry. I will predominantly be teaching Year 4 as opposed to a Thursday morning, that should actually say, and a Friday afternoon. The PE lesson will be led by Mr. Meechan on both a Thursday for football currently and for outdoor and adventure on a Friday afternoon. Miss Chembry will be in on that Thursday morning covering typically English library session bi-weekly and maths and reading skills too. Mr. Needs will be in the classroom consistently morning and afternoon throughout the week as our teaching assistant, and Mr. Wanford will be in occasionally for German and the teaching of keyboards too. As you can see there, that is the winter uniform list, and that goes from October half term until Easter. And the summer uniform list here. So PE kit is house colour t-shirt, black shorts and trainers, and obviously make sure the children's names are in all of the uniform, because quite often they go missing on a playground or in the classroom, so they'll end up in lost property, so it's a lot easier to retain those pieces of uniform if lost. Again, I'll give you a second just to read over that. Please pause it if you'd like a little bit more time. Typically, the children will enter between 8:40 and 8:50, where we'll do our maths fluency skills. Might be an opportunity for a bit of one-to-one reading, because we will ensure that each child is read with on a one-to-one level throughout the week. Again, I'll give you just a second to scan through that. Essentially, please call the office if your child is unwell or absent. At the end of the day, Year 4 will actually try and be dismissed just before 3:15, and then Year 5 will be dismissed just after that. You would have seen that already. That is obviously a work in progress. By 25 past, we will then take the children to the office to get collected. We are in a bubble with Year 5. Hand washing takes place regularly, as does using the anti-bac. Tables are wiped down thoroughly several times throughout the day as well. And if a child is experiencing any symptoms, they will be moved to the isolation room with an appropriate adult, and the supervision will be carried out from there. So typically book bag, PE kit every day, because quite often there's workshops or other activities that are going on off timetable. Appropriate clothing, pencil case. Later on in the PowerPoint there is a detailed list of things to include in a pencil case. A little bit sooner than expected actually. That's just a breakdown of what can be brought in. However, the fountain pens there have actually been sort of removed because we found last year, or Greenridge found last year, that they were causing a little bit too much mess or time wasting. So please, if you've already bought them, use them by all means for home learning, but not in school. Thank you. Over the first couple of weeks, we spent a lot of time discussing behaviour expectations and rewards. Again, I'll give you a minute to read through that. One thing that we currently have in our class is an individual reward system of Lego pieces that the children are responding really well to, and that actually contributes to a whole class reward system. Once we have built our Lego house, we will then have some sort of whole class reward that is fun and educational. So linked to the learning dots that some of you would already seen on your children's collars, we have lots of learning superheroes, and I will try and hand those out as often as possible because the children respond really well to them. If we can be encouraging these sort of behaviours at home and in school, that's really helping the progression of the children. Again, I'll give you a second if you just would like to pause that timetable. It doesn't deviate too much from that, other than special, perhaps theme days at some point, etc. There is a real focus on presentation, and that's why we have a PAP reward as part of our achievement assembly, in addition to other awards such as achievement and progress, and there will be TT Rockstars rewards too, with the recent removal of the cracking times tables, which I believe was implemented in Greenridge last year. So we could also upkeep those standards in home learning books as well. That would be fantastic, just for that consistency at home and in school. As previously mentioned, we've got outdoor and adventure and football. We will be doing PE regardless of the weather conditions. So as we're in England, sometimes that could be shorts and a t-shirt, and the following week it could well be in trousers and a coat. But we will be doing PE regardless. I'll give you a second to look through that, but we do essentially use a pi-corbet approach for English, and we will be beginning with the King of the Fish wishing tale, and then writing our own tales after using that as a key text, as a foundation for our learning. As it says, reading books will be brought back by Wednesday, new books will be given on Friday. Children can change as and when they need, and they will, upon returning a library book, they will be left aside for a couple of days so that other bubbles aren't mixing when taking out library books, and our slot will be every other Thursday. Linked to that is reading. We do encourage the children to read up to 20 minutes to an adult, or occasionally even you reading to them every single day to promote fluent readers. There are a series of questions here, and I'm more than happy to send home a sheet as well of different comprehension questions. Please just drop me an email if you would like one of those. And spelling, as we've now moved away from the tests, we will be sending home the spelling focus each week as part of the newsletter to help help the children practice and apply those particular rules and skills. How you can support at home is just detailed below. And again, please pause if you can zoom in a little bit on your screen and see an example of Year 4 written work at expected level. Moving on to maths, we will cover all the core pieces within the curriculum, beginning with place value, counting thousands, 25s, rounding. We will use a concrete, pictorial and abstract approach. Essentially that means as opposed to just teaching methods, we use physical resources, as well as encouraging the children to draw pictures to help them understand the deeper concepts and master those concepts. Supporting at home, again, please read over. An example may be if you're cooking dinner and you're saying that you are, or perhaps you're baking, and you put something in the oven at 4:15 and it needs to be in for 25 minutes, you can ask your children what time they will need to retrieve it from the oven, or just little tricks like that, essentially. Practicing times tables in TT Rockstars and sending myself or Mr. Needs challenges. We will respond to them daily, and we will keep an up-to-date display in the classroom of how the children are progressing through that. On this slide here is a list of the themes/topics that we'll be looking at across the board, beginning with Hola Mexico in theme, combining elements of history and geography, and in science we'll be looking at the digestive system, and also the components of and functions of the teeth. The children are particularly looking forward to making the masks at the end of our Hola Mexico unit. Home learning is daily reading, TT Rockstars. There's one test that's just 10 questions set on spag.com. You can find their usernames and passwords stuck into their reading records, and the home learning question is to be completed on a double page spread, and that should roughly take I would say approximately half an hour for a good quality piece of Year 4 homework. Unfortunately, there aren't any trips at the moment. However, ours were actually scheduled for after Christmas anyway, so hopefully come spring we could potentially get our visit to a Hindu temple or our sleeping under the stars, so fingers crossed for that. You have an important role in school too, not just at home. If you would like to inquire about how to become part of PTA, or if trips come about to be a helper, please just contact the office and pass on your details, and it will go from there. Obviously, at the moment, due to COVID, we are asking parents to email in or call in as opposed to coming up to any teachers at the gates, especially if it's something sensitive, because we can't really call you into school at the moment unless it's really urgent or necessary. I will contact you at my earliest convenience. It may sometimes be about 5 o'clock to 5:30 after a meeting. If it is urgent, I will try and call you before the meeting, but please do trust in when I say that I will contact you as soon as possible. The details are just on the screen there. Any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Again, sorry that I cannot meet you all in person. I've seen some of you on the playground, and over the course of the next few weeks I'll become more and more familiar with parents and carers collecting the Year 4 children. We've had a fantastic start. Thank you very much for your time. Goodbye.